My first 16mm film was for a class assignment. A 5 to 10 minute silent portrait of someone. I remember thinking, 16mm, hey, this thing's gonna look professional. I guess the strangest thing I remember about my father was that we never called him Dad. My older brother started calling him Yaya when he was a baby, and it stuck. 15 years later, by the time I came around, there wasn't much choice. You called him Yaya. It was like, hey, Yaya, can I borrow some money? I don't know why, I just did it. My father's the kind of guy who saves things. He never throws anything away. He's a pack rat, and he never changes the calendar either. But he'd have a June calendar up and there'd be snow on the ground. And it was probably June from 2 years before. But people thought he was such a character that they laughed at him. So it was all a big joke. My father's life depends on routine. He wants to do the same thing every day, you know. He wakes up, he drinks coffee, sit down, do a crossword puzzle, drink some coffee, go to work, drink a little more coffee, come in at night, fall asleep watching television. He might wake up and have another cup of coffee. When he was 65, he had a triple bypass heart surgery. This was supposed to be a big changing point in his life. The doctor gave him a special salt-free diet and an exercise program. He didn't really keep up with those too much. One thing he did do, though, was quit smoking. And by doing so, he became a terrific annoyance to anyone else who smokes. No one else could smoke while he was in the room, particularly my mother, who was a veritable human fog machine at the time. It's always made for some fun times at the kitchen table, let me tell you. He would also do this thing he called spitting tacks while he worked. He'd put a handful of tacks in his mouth and he'd spit them out onto the end of a magnetic hammer. It's always amazed me, but he always warned not to try it or else it would make your teeth fall out. In the end, he was right, because all his teeth fell out. He still spits tacks, but now he spits his teeth out too. And takes his false teeth out and shows them to people. The guy's the life of the party, I tell you. I always remember both my parents working in the shop. My mother would sew while my father did the upholstery. They always took great pride in it. My father would stress to me that his upholstery was not only a craft, it was also an art. That's where us kids got some of our artistic ability from. My father and I really don't have much in common. Even physically, he's short and stout. I'm tall and thin. He'd always make jokes, saying, I thought your mother was tipping the milkman too much. As a kid, I remember him finding it almost sacrilegious that I'd rather watch a movie than to watch a baseball game. I think he was worried maybe he exposed me to too many interior designers. To this day, my sister and I still go on rampages through their house, looking for my father's hidden stashes of candy. He was notorious for leaving melted chocolate between the cushions of the couch or ring-dings up in the bathroom drawer. Any place was fair game with him. being about 10 years old. My mother would be working as a waitress, and my brothers and sisters would be gone. I'd watch my father's head bob up and down as he'd try to fight off sleep at the other end of the couch. Finally, his head would go down for the count, and I knew he was asleep. So I'd sneak over and change the baseball game to a Marx Brothers movie or something. My father and me, we had our differences, but we always got along, too.